They've made a new Twitter place where Brad Garlinghouse, Marcus Infanger, and many others can talk to me about specific things we want to talk about. They talk to each other about how Ripple got started. They also talk about how XRP can be used. And Brad Garlinghouse says he has talked to Trump more than once about the idea of using XRP as a strategic reserve. You need to pay attention to all of this. Let's begin right now, but man, this is going to be a great show. Stay tuned and tell us how that has changed over time. So, today is my 10-year anniversary, and by chance, I had breakfast this morning with Chris Cannon, the famous man who ran engineering at Ripple in the early days. And we talked about my time there. It's possible that some people want to make their own mark on the world and everything. That looks like a quote from Steve Jobs, who died many years ago and was the inspiration behind Ripple. And the first person Chris Larson met, someone who helped us start the company, had the idea for a web value, Internet of Prices. It really hit home for me. And I thought, okay, this makes sense. Making the world a better place is the goal. But where do you start when you talk about these big, important ideas? How do you take the first step? You understand, and that's why I use the example of every race, taking the first step is the hardest part. The hard part is making sure the momentum moves in the right way. And I think one of the things I said at breakfast was that, like momentum is stronger now than it has ever been. And I believe that Ripple and the XRP network are stronger than they have ever been. I think we've had a showing. It's something that everyone has felt, and I'm definitely one of them. Regardless of what, look at the forces from a lot of different angles. I believe we're in an incredibly good place right now, and 2025 could be a really great year. And by that, I mean that we talked about some of the new titles we have the day before today. As you know, we've clearly put a lot of money into licensing around the world. We have more than 60 licenses in the area. Not only that, but we need to talk. The main thing we're focused on in 2025 is some of the real tokenization of global assets. We told you that Ripple and Ondo Finance are working together on tokenized US, taking funds and adding them to the XRP ledger. There's a video I made today about what he just said. There is also a relationship with Ondo BlackRock linked to that. This video won't come out before that one. So if you want to learn more about that, watch the previous video on my channel. I think that going back to my main point about the big picture, people still don't realize how quickly the world's largest economies can change from bad to good. How that will change some of these things, and add a little luck and skill. We find ourselves in a really exact role in that way, thanks to Ripple. And I think that's really good for the whole XRP network and helps it grow. Brad Garlinghouse just said that the pace has not been better in any way. Let's cross over first and listen to this. It says that confirmed Us.Thankx are kept safe, but this talk is really about an extremely dangerous US technique in the US, not from outside the country. The 2-minute break will then lead to the clip of Brad talking with Trump. I think you should watch that amazing video to hear about the unique uses of RLUSD and XRP. Could you please double click on that and explain or describe how clearly unique individual use cases with one and the other thing are? Yes. To begin, I think it's important to note the difference, because some false information has come back to the tribe issue. I believe some people misunderstanding what we meant. There are many reasons why we are still fully committed to the XRP world. The blockchain is very green, and it's clear that we have a lot of XRP. We're fully committed. Just to tell you, XRP is a token that lives on the XRP ledger. It's needed for fuel reserves and the money due ledger, but you need real XRP to use the XRP ledger. If you use Ripple on our main market to make cross-border payments, you can be sure that the money will be sent quickly and without any problems. We use it all over the world, even in places where changing money between currencies isn't common. It might go well with a solid coin if there's less demand for it that way. Ripple has used solid coins for years, which is the other side. And Tether was being used. We were making use of USDC. As time went on, we started to question whether we were doing the right thing, since we had said in public at one point that we were minting 20% of all USDC. That's why we kind of asked ourselves, wait a minute, should we take part in this market? I also think that we will probably use other tools at different times. I guess we thought we had a real part to play here, and just like strong cash is needed for on-chain payments, I think strong cash will be needed as more things get tokenized at the XRP system. And that's partly shown by the fact that the Ondo news came about early today. Okay, let's get down to business. Solid coins will play a big role around the world as we move from traditional finance to DLT-based blockchain finance. Okay, and Brad just said it was true. Every one of Ripple's customers wants something different, so they make almost 20% of all USDT yourself. Okay, and it's likely that a solid coin can be used in different situations. The good value for that amount of money. Okay, maybe it's not so important to cross the border and change money. They just need to get it there quickly and properly. Every time Brad and his team meet with banks or go to main banks, they always ask about strong coins. Because Ripple knows how important this coin will be to the future of crypto, they are putting out the most controlled solid coin in the world. The strongest currency possible. Sorry, you don't limit it, but So also start the lawsuit. Looks like the legal actions against Ripple have been taken down from the SEC's website. The war happened a very long time ago. We've already won. Now all that's left is to wait for widespread interest in XRP to become the clear choice. Stay ahead of time. That being said, here's more proof of that. And now you pass. It was without a doubt that Brad Garlinghouse talked to Trump about XRP. Pay attention. To start, I'll just say that I have talked to the president directly about some of these issues. And it's very clear to me that the president knows how much these tools cost. He wants to be the US's top crypto leader. I also believe that one of their main goals is to undo some of the bad things that the previous managers did. There's already been some rolling back of what is called SAB 121, which is about banks being able to hold crypto. That's a big deal. I believe the vibe is already strong after the first week. I'm also optimistic about what the future holds. In particular, I think there are almost two things to think about when it comes to the strategic reserve. For starters, does it make sense for the US to keep crypto as a strategic reserve? I think it's up to the politicians and our chosen officials to decide if we want to increase the chances of that happening. I think we need a lot of help for that. And brother, this idea that I started pushing for a strategic store of crypto or even Bitcoin by myself, no matter what, is just not true. The claim is obviously not true. For those who are just now reading this,